Okay, today we've got a new Q bike that a customer of ours has brought from an online retailer, another bike shop that's just selling bikes online. Now, he's brought it straight into us because the second he unpacked it, you could tell that there were some problems with it, mostly because turned the cranks and the chain instantly fell off into the cranks. It's actually done some little cosmetic damage here on the cranks. Pretty disappointing. We also noticed that the front mech was intermittently working and not working, so there was a loose connection there somewhere. So our first job was to put that right so we could check the rest of the bike. And I think we've traced down the source of that loose connection. We've had to open up the bike and go through all of the connections from the battery and the mechs to make sure we found it. And I think we have. Hopefully it's nothing too sinister than just a loose connection. Now, there's a few other problems with this bike as well when it came in. Firstly, it hadn't actually had its bolt check. And the very first thing that was a big giveaway was that the hoods hadn't even been bolted down. I mean, this is something that you should have picked up in the initial test ride in the shop, that these bolt checks hadn't been done. Other bolts were loose as well, so that PDI check hadn't really been completed. However, the really big issue is here at the back wheel. So at this back wheel is a really, really obvious fault, and if you just look at it, it's not even straight in the frame. But even just the lightest little touch, we can get this wheel to flex and the tyre to touch the frame here. This is just going to rub. Every time you put some pressure down on the left-hand pedal stroke, it's just going to make this rub and rub and rub, and we're going to end up with a whole lot of damage here. So this wheel doesn't look like it's true. So I want to whip this out and show you actually what's going on here. I'm going to use a really simple tool. This is a wheel dishing tool, and it's just used to make sure that the centre of the rim is actually in line with the centre of the hub. And all we need to do is lay this onto the rim and adjust this so that it's just touching the end of the hub. And then very simply, if it's centred, flip the wheel around and we should see this line up. And if we turn this around, you can just see there is a gap there of what, 4 millimetres? So that's the problem here. Now, if I put this into the wheel truing stand, you'll see that the wheel isn't actually even straight. And here in the stand, we can quite clearly see that 4 millimetre gap. So we need to tighten up these non-drive side spokes, bring the whole wheel this side and get it centralised again. And there's also a fair bit of truing work to do because the run out of that is far from perfect. So what should you do if your bike comes delivered with a whole load of faults? Well, remember, you get that first 30 days where you're fully entitled to send your bike back and ask for a full refund. What's probably better is to come to your local bike shop, ask them to document all of the faults that they find and give you a quote for how much it would cost them to fix it. Then go back to that brand and say, look, I've got all these problems, this is how much it's going to cost, what are you going to do? More than likely, they'll give you a voucher or cash refund so that you can go and get that bike repaired and bring it up to the standard it should have been when it was delivered. It's rare that they'll ask you to send the bike back because there is so much hassle involved. Boxing it all up, sending someone for a UPS truck to collect it, unpacking it at their end, putting it back into the system to be repaired, and then shipping it all back out again. That's an awful lot of hassle, time and shipping cost. So most of the time they're going to ask the local bike shop to put it right, and you'll probably get significantly better service doing that as well. So just remember, first 30 days, get it checked, and if you can do that before you even turn the wheel outside, so there's no ambiguity about whether something happened on its first ride, before it's even got dirt on its wheels, is the best time to do that. Now, I hope this video was really useful. If it was, please let me know. And have you had a similar experience? Please put it down in the comments below, because we'll all learn from your shared experience. We'll get to know who the good guys are, brands are that really do need a bit of a kick to get their quality control up. In the meantime, keep sharing this video and let us know.